third graders! Today we're going to be making a word wall. So here's my word wall. What I did is I took different colored pieces of paper and I wrote down my vocabulary words that you're going to get in a moment. And then what I could do is hang it up in my room, or I could lay them on the floor so that I can see them. Or I also made a flip book. So if you decide you don't want to do a word wall and you want to make a flip book, that's a choice as well. We'll get into more on how to make those in a moment. So we're going to be starting a new book that I'm going to read to you called The Albertosaurus Mystery. But before we do that, I need to give to you some new vocabulary words. And that's where you'll be creating your word wall. Our first word is fossils. And fossils are the remains or traces of plants and animals that lived long ago. So in our book, Fossils, this man has found a dinosaur fossils. He will learn a lot from the old bones. Look at those bones. Our next word is clues. And clues are pieces of evidence that leads a person towards the solution of a problem. And then for my word wall, what you're going to do is you're going to write all your words out, and you can decorate them if you want. You'll want to put the definition so that you remember what clues is, as well as all your other words. And then what you're going to do is throughout the week, when you hear the word being used, you're going to write about it around your poster. So for example, I was watching Scooby-Doo, and while I was watching, Shaggy said he found a clue. Clues and clues. I'm like, oh, there's an example, so I wrote that out. And then if I hear clue again, I might write something else about it here. So that's how that's going to work. Our next word is, let's go with evidence. So evidence, so a sign that shows something exists or is true. Evidence. I think I forgot clues. Let's go back to clues for a moment. So clues. Fossils give clues that help scientists solve mysteries about dinosaurs. So here we see a scientist with his clue. All right, back to evidence. Evidence. Egg fossils give evidence or facts about how dinosaurs raised their young. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder how dinosaurs raised their young. Maybe we'll find out in Albertosaurus. Our next word is remains. And remains means what's left. So these are the remains of a large dinosaur. One bone is all that is left. Look how big that bone is, though. It kind of shows you how big dinosaurs were. That's just one bone out of many. And our very last word that we're going to cover for our word wall is prove. And prove means to show that something is true. I'm going to have you read about prove, and then I'll read it in a moment. Prove. Scientists are trying to prove or show that dinosaurs and birds are related. All right, so this is one option for a word wall, is you can do different colored papers, or you could do all white paper if you have that at home, or lined paper is fine. And then you would write out each of the words, have a definition, and then when you hear the word throughout your day, you're going to write examples around it, just like I did for clues. And you're welcome to use crayons, markers, paint, pencils, pens. You can draw pictures again, like I said, make them creative and fun. If your family lets you, you can hang it up on your wall or lay it out kind of like a mat on your floor. Or if you want to instead, you can make a flip book. And so for a flip book, you take some papers. You can kind of decide how many you want, because if you want to add more words to yours, you'll want more paper. But what you do is, I'm going to show you with these, is you would just take some normal size paper And you're gonna lay them out on top of each other. And then what you do is you take the bottom part and you flip it over like this. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch of little flaps, and you can either staple this down once you fold it, or you can tape it, or you don't have to do anything, but it might come out. So if you staple it or tape it, it will be easier. But once you fold those down, you'll have your flip book. Well, mine's kind of falling apart there. And then what you do is on each of the papers, you'll write, first you have your title, and then you'll write your first word: fossils, clues, remains, prove, and evidence. And then what you do is you can flip up. So for this one, you could draw a picture of a fossil, put the definition, and then your examples. For clue, you would do the same, and so on. So it's just like a word wall, except everything's all together in a little book. Now, if you don't have any extra paper at home, you are definitely welcome to write words in a notebook. So you could put my word wall and then have your words with definitions, and you're welcome to still draw pictures and examples. So it's kind of a way to be creative. You can decide if you want to be really creative or if you want to just use your notebook. That is fine as well. So that is all for today. Next time, we will dive into our story, Albertosaurus.